Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. How are you guys doing? Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing. Javi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Elevate Your Security with Microsoft Defender for Business. Thank you so much for joining us today. I would like to start off by introducing myself. I'm Marcy Van Ooyen, and I am the marketing part of the marketing team here at Innova Solutions. And I focus mostly on digital marketing together with marketing manager Adriana Wong. She is here and she is moderating this meeting today. We would like to give everyone who knows us a big welcome back, our customers. Thank you so much for joining. For those who do not know us yet, thank you for joining and welcome. We are happy to have you here. First off, I want to just start off introducing Innova Solutions really quick. And I consider myself really the perfect person here to talk about Innova Solutions, as a marketing person. So if you do not know us, get ready for a very fun ride. And if you do, let me refresh your memory about Innova Solutions. We have been Microsoft trusted partner for the past 15 years, and we started off as a licensing provider. And through the years, with all the experience that we've built, we've gained a lot of employees that have so many talents, such as Javi. We have acquired, our amazing team of Microsoft certified technicians, and we have developed ourselves right now into a Microsoft solutions partner. And we offer, next to licensing, many services, such as cloud migrations, security assessments, and many more things. We consider ourselves your passport to the cloud and your passport to business success, because we come to work every day to fulfill our mission. Javi, can you go to the next slide? Yes, we come to work every day to fulfill a mission, and that is to empower organizations of all sizes to create business advantages by adopting digital transformation. So for this particular webinar, I would like to focus on one of our areas of expertise, which is security. For those of you who do not know, we have recently acquired our security designation with Microsoft, and this really shows our proven capabilities to offer Microsoft security solutions and services. And with me today, I have our technical support supervisor here at Innova Solutions, Mr. Javier Nevares, who can shed a bit more light on the security solutions we offer. So Javi, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do here at Innova Solutions, and what it means for customers who are interested in implementing security solutions with Innova Solutions? What does it mean to partner up with Innova Solutions? But tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so first thing, good morning, everyone. My name is Javier Nevares. As Marcy mentioned, I am the technical support supervisor for Innova Solutions here in the Puerto Rico office. I do a little bit of everything. I do execute projects, but I also take care of the technical support department. From everything, we specialize, at least myself, I specialize in the security part of Microsoft 365, but we do have teams that work on different projects and executions as well.
So Javi, tell me, I hope I'm not springing this on you. I hope I'm not catching you off guard. But what would you say is a great security solution that you would consider businesses, having, or maybe an assessment, that you will consider businesses really thinking about implementing?
I think the first thing that people need to be aware of is that there is a secure score in Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 has what it's called literally the secure score. That is a score of companies that basically compares your organization with other businesses that are about the same size and the same kind of business as you. With that secure score, you can take steps in order to prevent threats and make it so that your company is more secure overall. things like implementing multi-factor authentication all the way to security policies in your devices. You can actually use that secure score to get yourself up to par with whatever it's going on around the world right now.
Amazing. Thank you, Javi. And as we've mentioned before, this webinar will focus mostly on Microsoft Defender for Business, and that is really for small to medium-sized businesses. But there is Defender for enterprise as well, for enterprise customers as well, which is Defender for Cloud and Defender, I believe it's Defender XDR. Am I correct, Javi?
That's correct.
All right, correct. So for anyone, I think the information here offered in this webinar is relevant to everyone. But if you would be interested in seeking other types of Defender SKUs, you can always contact us for support on this. But let's not take too long around this. Javi, take it away.
All right. So good morning, everyone, first of all. So we're going to be talking today about security, specifically with using Defender for Business. Now, there is a lot of flavors of licensing that say Defender, but we'll be talking specifically about Defender for Business today. Defender for Business is a simplified version of Defender for Endpoints. And Defender for Endpoints, it's the enterprise model of the same product. We're going to be talking about what it is, what it's the difference between them, and all of the benefits you can get with either of them. So first, we need to talk about why is SMB our focus today? And it is because there has been a 300% increase in ransomware attacks against small businesses. And this is a lot worse than it's been in the previous years. Before the pandemic, everything was so. We always got attacks, but hey, the big attacks were going always to the big companies, not to the small businesses. And this has changed a lot in the past few years. It is important to know that the average cost of a data breach is still over $100,000. So depending on the size, obviously, of your organization, you have to be aware of this so that you can protect yourself against these kind of attacks. And that is where Defender for Business comes in. Defender for Business brings enterprise-grade endpoint security to your business, and it can work for you up to 300 employees. If you have more than 300 employees, then you shall consider the next product, which is Defender for Endpoints. And we'll get into that one a little bit later. So Defender for Business brings your customers security from just a traditional antivirus to a next generation antivirus protection. It includes endpoint detection and response, threat and vulnerability management, and a lot of other things we'll be talking about. Defender for Business brings a lot of endpoint security capabilities into just one package. It removes the need to having separate things for your web security and your network protection, threat and vulnerability management. All of that, it's packed into just one package. Defender for Business is available as a standalone solution, so you can even get it just for a computer that you're going to have on your office. It does not require a Microsoft 365 bundle or package, and it is included already in licensing like Business Premium, so you can take it or as a separate item, or you can have it as part of your licensing. Defender for Business is built on a foundation of Defender for Endpoint, so it is using the same infrastructure. It delivers the same industry-leading market-tested capabilities to small and medium-sized business, again, in a simplified and cost-effective package. Defender Antivirus, which is the main object of this service, has been rated as a AAA in all of the last year's antivirus testings. You can see here that Gartner has given it a leader pronunciation in the market. It's been also won awards from Forrester. It becomes part of the MITRE ATT&CK evaluation process, and we'll get into that in a minute. And it's won a lot of achievements during the last few years. So if you're thinking, oh, Microsoft and antivirus, I've never actually heard of it, do your research, because they have been winning awards every single year for the past few years. So Defender for Business has a simplified onboarding and administration platform. It does bring the same enterprise level security that you can get with Defender for Endpoints, but it does have a simplified way of onboarding and administrating it. It comes with threat and vulnerability management, so you can see what kind of issues you're having and what threats are coming into your office. It has attack surface reduction to reduce any kind of issues that you can have, things like ransomware mitigation, application controls, web protection, network firewall. All of that, it's included in the same package and in the same administration center. You have next generation protection, which uses multi platforms to actually get malware protection and antivirus protection directly from the cloud, so you can have all of those updates working for you at the same time. It brings endpoint protection and response, so it has behavioral-based detection. So whenever it detects something, if it didn't detect it at the beginning because the process did not start doing the malicious effects, it will keep watching it to see how it actually reacts later on. Nowadays, viruses and other malicious payloads are actually taking a while to actually start up, obviously, so they can be ignored by certain antivirus softwares. And this Defender for Business service will actually keep on watching everything that it does to prevent that from happening. It has automated investigation and remediation, which means that it won't just tell you an alert that something is happening, but it will actually explain to you how it found out, who it attacked, and how many other issues came up because of that attack. And it does have APIs and integration, so you can integrate this into your dashboards, into any kind of XDR platform, into your NOC or SOC operations. So you can actually integrate this into everything that you do. Defender for Business, it's actually based on the security framework from NIST. That's the National Institute of Standards and Technology. And this organization actually maintains and promotes guidance and helps organizations with assessing risk. And this is very important to be taken into consideration, because it classifies everything that we are looking into different topics, so they can be mitigated in the correct manner. It helps us identify and develop organizational understanding of how cybersecurity risks are actually happening. It protects us, and so we can develop and implement appropriate safeguards to ensure our security and our infrastructure. It includes detection and response, so it just won't detect the attack. It will actually do something about it and try to stop it, and then do events to respond to those attacks. And it can recover, which means that it can repair and restore devices that were actually affected. Now, many customers have traditional antivirus software on their security in their security measures, and they believe that this is all that it's needed to protect their devices. Now, based on NIST, traditional antivirus only covers part of the necessary security protocols that you should have into your organization. So it's important that we address and educate the differences between traditional antivirus and something like Microsoft Defender for Business. Now, antivirus is a pre-breach technology. It is designed to prevent problems. It is something that we need. It is like a lock on a front door. It is something that you should have for sure. But much like a lock, it can be bypassed with sophisticated attacks. So traditional antiviruses sometimes have a little problem with these as well. Traditional antiviruses only provide limited protection and leaves businesses vulnerable to unknown threats, malicious websites, attacks that can easily evade detections, like the one I mentioned before, where the attack doesn't happen with you open a file, but much later on. And this is where Defender for Business steps in and goes above and beyond to deliver a comprehensive device and server security, endpoint detection and response, the next generation antivirus, automated investigation and remediation, and so on. Now, for a Windows operating system, Defender for Business simplified onboarding and security configurations are used and are worked in a wizard-driven form. Sorry about that. Actually went ahead quite a few slides here. All right, so for Windows operating systems, you have the simplified onboarding, which is done via a wizard. When you go, if you have Business Premium or if you get Defender for Business as a standalone option, you remove all of this complexity from configuring a lot of things everywhere. You can do the onboarding of your devices either by a file or via a group policy object in your domain. You onboard the device, and everything that you need to set up, it's right there on the portal. You set everything up for your users. All of the settings that you set up in the portal automatically goes to your user's computer, and you can set things like prevention of the users being able to turn off this security, which is great to have, so that our users do not turn off our antiviruses or our settings out of authorization. We can also protect things like our iOS and Android devices. We can use Microsoft Intune to manage those devices as well as Mac OS devices can be onboarded into Defender for Business without Intune. It also gives us a security summary. This basically gives us insights into how our security is working, gives us a summary so you can better understand security that across your identities, your devices, your information, and your applications. This is actually part of that secure score that I was talking to you about. It is important to know that cyber threats are not slowing down. It has actually become very, very easy for an attacker to get the information that they need to actually attack you, to gather up those username and passwords from your users. It's become very, very easy for them, especially when if you don't have anything like anti-spam or anti-phishing filters in your email, you need to be aware those are being received by your users daily. Sometimes it can be received as a malicious file to your users, but nowadays it can be hidden inside an attachment on an email. So we have to be very aware that this is happening to all of us. It's not happening just to the big companies anymore. It's happening to all small businesses as well. There is also a vulnerability management platform, which is built into the service. This can effectively identify, assess, and remediate any kind of device weaknesses that you have on your organization. Threat and vulnerability management serves to help reduce organization exposure, hardening endpoint surface area, and increasing your resilience. You can see things like vulnerabilities, misconfigurations. This is all real time, so if someone changes anything, you'll actually get an alert and you'll be able to know. The service works as a continuous discovery service, which means that it will all the time it will be scanning your operating system for anything that it's out of normal. It will check your users' configuration to see if they get out of what they should be, things like your password policies, or if a user suddenly changes your password to something that it's just not permitted. It will look for things like application misconfiguration, if they change anything that just seems out of the ordinary. All of a sudden, a user started installing an application that communicates with somewhere else, and it is making a connection to maybe like Russia, China, or any of the very known attacking countries, then you will get an alert on that. And it will also look for network misconfiguration, things like a port that should not be open. You get an attack surface reduction for your Windows systems. This means that behaviors like launching executable files or scripts that are trying to either download or upload files, if you're running obfuscated or any subscription scripts, if you're performing behaviors that applications don't usually do, those are going to raise flags for the system. With this, such software behaviors are actually going to be stopped, as it won't be the same as a legitimate application. Now, these behaviors are often considered risky, but they are commonly being abused by attackers nowadays, especially for malware. So we have a network protection to help our devices from internet-based events. We have a service called Defender Smart Screen, which blocks any kind of outbound HTTP or HTTPS traffic that are connecting to anywhere where it's been malicious or that is considered low reputation sources. Anything like that, it will be stopped. It also has web protection, so you can actually block certain kinds of websites. If you want, for example, to block social media or social, oh my God, I lost the word. Any kind of social things like Facebook or Instagram, anything like that, you can actually block them. Social networks, that's what I was looking for. You can block anything from pornography sites, any kind of specific content that you want to block. You can block it with the web protection portion of Defender for Endpoints. You can block specific domains or host names. If you just want to block something like YouTube, you can do it too with the service. This is how you will see the web content filtering. Again, you can block categories of website, or you can block specific domains or sites. It is also important that we know that inside of this service, it includes the next generation protection, which reinforces a security perimeter of your network. If you do have anything that the service does detect as malicious, it will automatically give you some information. It uses behavioral-based heuristics and real-time antivirus protection. So the service is updating itself all the time. If there is an event that happened, let's say in Europe, where a user opened a file and it is a malicious file, and the system detected that user in Europe, which had the problem with the file, if you receive the file too after that happened, the system already knows about that file and it will block it for you immediately. So it is a service that it's feeding up from all of the threats that are going out into the world, and we can actually benefit from it directly. It is cloud delivered protection, which means that any kind of emerging threats will be detected and blocked. It also uses machine learning processes, so they can classify information and protect you quicker by finding out all of these little dots and commas that are getting out of hand. Anything that is not supposed to be happening, the system will detect. It will upload it to the cloud, investigate, remediate, and apply it to all of our devices immediately. The service has a really nice protection platform, which does fileless protection, which means it doesn't have to be a file inside of an email or inside of a SharePoint site or inside of a OneDrive file. You can actually protect from many, many things that are not considered a file. The service uses URL analysis, which means if we click a link and it went somewhere who is not malicious, and then later on the back end, someone changes that and to go to a malicious site, when we click the link again, it will check it again and make sure that it's still not malicious. And that is something that normal antivirus software will not do. It also does, like I said, machine learning processing so that it can learn from changes that are happening out into the world right now. This is an example of how malware are filtered throughout the process. It works with machine learning through the clients. It does cloud metadata, which means that information will go into the cloud and try to feed itself and try to learn from the changes that are being done. It sends samples directly to the cloud also to be inspected directly by the process. Obviously, our computers are slow compared to the computers that are in the data center, so they can process these samples a lot quicker and detect anything that goes on. It also does what it's called detonation, which means that if there is a file that it's received by your email, for example, it will be uploaded to a data center and a computer or a virtual machine for that matter, and it will actually detonate or run and explode that file to see how it reacts. If it doesn't find anything, then it goes over to the classification platform, and then it is either deemed malicious or not malicious. All of this service monitors, like I said, things like files. It will scan for your registry keys, any kind of processes that are already installed into your devices, and everything that goes on in your networks. All of these processes, what they do, it's to gather information, inspect everything that goes on, make sure that it's not only your computer that could be affected, but others as well, bring it all into one place and act on it directly. This is important because normally antiviruses, what it does, it just scans a file. If it doesn't see anything out of the ordinary, it keeps on going. This system will actually keep on checking files, keep on verifying that everything is correct, and that it doesn't actually affect you further on in the future. Now, Defender for Business endpoint detection and response capabilities, they provide attack detections. They are near real-time actionable, which means that if something happens on a device, you'll almost immediately, you'll be able to see it on your platform as well. When a threat is detected, alerts are created into the system, and any of your analysts or security personnel can actually look for it and act on it. Alerts with the same attack technique or attributed to the same kind of attack are aggregated into what it's called an incident, which means that, let's say that someone opened a phishing attempt, they entered their information, and now it's being sent over from that user to others. You'll see it as a single incident, and you'll be able to see all of the details into that attack. Now, I love this picture, and I just want to point it out. This little map here that you're seeing, this is the information that you'll see if you ever get a breach or an attack. Now, it will correlate all of the information whether it detects anything like ransomware campaigns or any kind of sophisticated attack, and it will show you exactly what happened. Whether a file was received or anything happened on your organization, or maybe a user got attacked, you'll be able to see a map of everything that happened, what was the result, how it was prevented, and it will give you a really nice report that you can send over to your directors and explain exactly what happened. Automated attack disruption works by disrupting attacks as they happen, making sure that they do not happen again. Even if they change the user that it's being sending the information, or if they gather more information from your tenant, it will always stop the attack. As I mentioned, these incidents will explain to you the end-to-end attack story. Where was the attack started? Who received that malicious file? Who tried to open the file? Did that file then got to other users in your email, via email, I should say? How did it happen? When it started? How did it end? And all of the steps that went through it. It also has a live response option, which gives you instant access to a device, even if the device is blocked for your protection. So whenever you have these kind of protections, one of the things it does is that it blocks the device from the network. But sometimes when that happens, you basically lose access to that device. With live response, you can actually remote into the devices, and you can collect forensic data, scripts, suspicious information, so you can analyze and remediate threats that the system was not able to finish up itself. It all works with your RBAC permissions, so that all of those role-based access controls will be in place. So only the correct people will have access to this and will be able to work on these devices if they are compromised. You also have a threat analytics area where you can see things like which threats are being are attacking people around the world. You can read about CVEs and read about these common attacks that are going on around you. It has automated investigation and remediation. This is another really nice map that I can show you right here. It will show you which users were affected or were tried to be attacked. It will give you alerts so that you can examine them and take immediate actions and resolve things like a breach. You can see which other users were affected by it, which devices, if it was a virus, which one, and you'll be able to get a report out of it so you can inform the correct parties as well. All of these incidents are put into what it's called an auto investigation queue, which means that it will keep investigating even if you are not there. Things like a breach, the system can take actions as is blocking the user or blocking the access to files in certain times. You can see things like the investigation graph again, so you can see exactly how it happened and who was affected. And you can take all of this information and see exactly what went on. It is important for you to know that with this service, you can protect things like Windows PCs, Linux PCs, and Mac OS. You can have mobile devices from Android and iOS, and you can use it for virtual desktops as well. There is an option also that it's called Defender for Business Servers. This also extends the security for Windows and Linux servers. It is now on preview as well for Linux. This will take all of the security that you normally have from an antivirus into your server. You can put it in directly from Defender for Business. It works with the same policies that you can set up for your users. And it is, again, an award-winning security system for both your devices or your servers. For Linux, like I mentioned, this is on preview right now. For now, it is working for antivirus prevention and full command line experience. It will give you alerts for the antivirus. All of the services are, as of right now, are working except EDR functionality, which are being added every few months. As I mentioned also, all of these Android and iOS devices can also be onboarded into the service. It will protect the data from your organization data as well. It can give them threat and vulnerability management, which you can see directly from your portal. It gives them web protection and app security as well. Now, many people mention what is the difference between Defender for Business and having something like Defender for Endpoint Plan 1 and Plan 2. Now, the only limited function that you'll actually see is that you have only Defender for Business up to 300 users. So if you have more than 300 users, you cannot get Defender for Business, or you have to make a mix of the two. But normally, if you have E1 or E1, E3, E5 licenses, you'll go for Defender for Endpoint. If you have any kind of Microsoft Business licensing, normally you will go with Defender for Business. It is important for you to know that even though this is a very, very cost-effective solution, it does bring a lot of E5 options that are normally included only in Defender for Endpoint Plan 2, which will be an E5, are actually included here. All of these functions are available for you for a really low cost, and you don't have to pay extra for them.
All right, Javi, thank you so much for giving us all your knowledge about Microsoft Defender. Thank you so much. I really loved your comparison with a locked door. That was funny. Thank you so much. I just wanted to go through my key takeaways here for everything you've presented here. And I think one of the most important things you mentioned, some keywords, real-time detection, real-time action, automated detection and response. And this is also a product that is adaptable in the sense that it's not traditional. It really, as cyber attacks evolve, this product evolves as well. So those are my some of the things I caught. What do you think is one of the most important key takeaways of what you've just presented?
I would like to say that it's everything it's integrated into Microsoft 365. So one of the things that are normally done with traditional antivirus is that you need to have your console. And normally your console, it's either an application on your server or it is a website that you have to go into. And you have to set up usernames and passwords for the users and who's going to take care of it and so on and so on. This is something that your global administrator will already have access to it. Right. He can delegate those permissions to whoever is going to monitor the service directly with role-based access control, and they can just go around their day into the same platform that they're probably already logged into.
Right. That's great. Thank you, Javi. So for anyone interested in purchasing Microsoft Defender for Business, you can visit the Inova Solutions customer portal, and you can get it for $36 a year per user, and that's actually less than 10 cents a day. So, like Javi said, you get so much benefits, and it's a really cost-effective option. For those who have, for example, Microsoft 365 Business Standard or Business Basic, you can actually upgrade to Microsoft 365 Business Premium and get Defender for Business included. So you get enterprise-grade antivirus protection with your license. You can also visit our portal and purchase this product immediately. Adriana will share the link to our portal, and you can even go directly to the product and see what it's all about. Javi, if you could go to the next slide.
Yes.
Just as you were talking, as you can see, Javier has all the knowledge about security. He is our security expert here at Inova Solution, and he is my go-to person when I have any security questions here at Inova Solutions. And you can see why we are your passport to the cloud, and we are your partners to support you with achieving business success, because we walk with you through the whole process. We go from consulting, doing assessment, doing threat assessment, security, backup, whatever. Implementations, we do Microsoft 365 implementations, we do adoption trainings, because the success of such a product working in your organization is really understanding how to work with it. And then we actually use what we sell. We are real ambassadors of Microsoft products, and we're the perfect persons to teach you and train you on using these products. We offer support. We offer break-fix block hours, ongoing assurance. We even offer managed services. And that is something that this is really Javi's area. He is the technical support supervisor. So he will work with you, and his team of technicians will work with you one-on-one to do an assessment, support you with any IT issues you may have. And then we also offer usage optimization, right? So to really get the most out of your purchase, out of your software licenses, out of your solutions that you have implemented. Javi, if you could go to the next slide. So if you want to maximize your Microsoft 365 security with Inova Solutions, scan this QR code. There's a pre-written message in it that says, send me a proposal to do a security assessment, and we will contact you to do a security assessment for your business. So there's 3 options here. Go through it, see what you like. Our experts are ready to support you, and our sales team is, of course, ready to answer any questions you may have. I would also like to go through the questions that we've had during this call, Javier. We have a couple of interesting questions. Thank you so much for your interest. Thank you so much for engaging with us. We have 3 questions, Javi, and let's go through them. Let's see if we can assist these questions. So our first question is from Glenn. Is the license for Microsoft Defender for Business based on the number of endpoint devices or number of users?
This is per user. The good thing is that if your user goes into another device and it's onboarded, you can actually give them the security as well. So it is a per user license. The same for the servers. If you are getting the Defender for Business servers, then it will be per server, per device.
All right, and we have another question from Glenn as well. He's asking, what is the difference between Microsoft Defender for Business versus Microsoft Defender for Office 365? Do we need to deploy both products?
Yes, the short answer is yes, but it is actually included. Both of them are included in Defender. In Business Premium. So right. Defender for Business, it's security for your endpoints. Now, Defender for Office 365, it's the security for your emails. So everything that has to do with anti-spam, anti-phishing, anti-malware in your emails are actually part of Defender for Office 365. Now, that service also goes a little above and beyond. It also protects things like your OneDrive, your SharePoint, your Teams, your team sites, from any kind of malicious files or malicious content that can actually go into your devices. So they are both different kind of securities, and I always recommend them both.
All right. We have a nice question. How can we explain the added value of using Microsoft Defender to C-levels instead of another endpoint security software?
The cost effectiveness of it will be the first thing I will mention. Normally, antivirus software are quite expensive, especially the big name ones. And Defender for Business has all of the benefits of an antivirus software, plus a lot of things like attack surface reduction and endpoint detection and response, which are usually part of a lot higher priced product. The integration of it into Microsoft 365, it's a great point. You don't need to create users and do all of that process all over again. You just have to put the license on the users and onboard the devices.
All right. From Adrian, we have, as a business premium user, how easy can the IT team integrate or utilize Defender for Business? Can it work in conjunction with other endpoint security applications already in my environment?
It can work hand in hand, but I have to be transparent about this. Normally, when you have two antivirus softwares working at the same time, it delays the process because they will start battling each other on which is the one who will scan the files, whether one or before the other. So it is usually recommended to have one antivirus software or endpoint detection and response service at the same time, not more than one.
All right. From Warren, I have a question. What type of performance impact would Defender for Business have on a low-powered Windows computer?
That is very valid. The service usually only works if the device is under 50% of performance and whether it's not actually trying to run something. What does all of that mess means? So if you're trying to run an application, it will always scan it. That's a fact. But if it has to do one of those periodical scans that it does every now and then, if the device is not under 50% load, it won't start it up. So it will, if you're running any kind of application that it's using a lot of your processor, you won't actually feel it because it will wait for you to have time to do that later on. The service can actually be configured. So if you think, oh, 50% it's fine for me, or in the other sense, if I want it to be even less that percent, hey, if my device it's over 20%, I don't want the antivirus full scan running. You can actually set that up. So that is very good to know. Especially for low-powered Windows computers, you can set it up for something like 20%. And if the device is over 20% usage, it will not start up until it's actually gone down.
All right, thank you, Javi. We have two questions from Haroon. First question, what is licensing model for Defender for Business? Is it included in E3 plan? And does Microsoft Defender have any IDS, IPS features?
So Defender for Business, it's usually used with business type of licensing. Let's say a business basic, business standard, or business premium. For E model licensing, normally when you go into E3, E5, or E1, you already have more than 300 users, and that is one of the reasons why you went to that E plan. So it is important to know that there is Office 365 E3 and Microsoft 365 E3. They sound about the same, but they are not the same. One of the things that are different is that they include security features on the Microsoft 365 E3. Part of those features are Defender for endpoints in that case. Depending on whether it's E3 or E5, you'll get Defender for Endpoint Plan 1 or Plan 2. I'm actually gonna go back to that slide because it does show quite a bit of information. Let me get back to it. So here on this one, you can see the difference of information that it's the different kind of features that it brings together. It does have some benefits that you won't have on the other one, but it again, the main point is that whether you have over or under 300 users. If you have over 300 users, then you have to use Endpoint Plan 1 or Plan 2. But that depends on which features you have. Just to summarize a little bit, the big differences between Plan 1 and Plan 2, it's that Plan 1 includes remediation of the issues, and Plan 1 will only detect and show you the information. So definitely Plan 2 will be the best. But do take note that Defender for Business does include features from Plan 2.
Wow. Thank you so much, everyone, for the engagement. Thank you so much for your question. I'm always amazed by Javi's knowledge and expertise with these topics. Javi, can you forward, please, to slide 48, to the next slide?
Yes.
So seeing the time, we cannot take any more questions. So we would have to take these questions offline. But we've, really thankful for you guys for joining. We know you have busy schedules. We know you have a lot to do. So we're really thankful for you guys joining our webinar today. Thank you so much. And we'd love to hear from you. So please fill out our survey. Adri, if you can share the link to our survey, please do. We'd love to hear how we can improve your experience in our webinars, how we can give you more information, and how we can help you achieve your business goals through digital transformation. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining. If you have any other question, please send us an email. We will be happy to assist you further with any questions you may have. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you another time. We will announce our upcoming webinar soon. It's going to be in June. We're excited for the new topic we'll be bringing. So let's see. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Javier.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too.